Hi everyone, good morning. Welcome to this class. In this class, let's see how we can use multiple classes in Java. So far, we have seen, only single classes. We have created single classes inside single classes. We have experimented, by declaring different methods, different static methods, and also by declaring static variables, and also by declaring static blocks. So what we are going to see as part of this course, let's see, why we need multiple classes. What is the benefit of multiple classes? And also, how we can see how to declare multiple classes. And we will see how to use the members in multiple classes. It means in one class, you will be declaring a variable or method. How you can access the members which are declared in particular class from another class. That also we will see it. Okay, fine. So let's get started. What I do is I am going to create one class. Okay, consider we can go with the Notepad++ and select the language as Java. Consider I am going a class named as employee. Okay, this is my class name. Okay, this is one of the class, correct? And even this is a .java file, right? If I want to store avail store, okay, I will store with under programs directory. I'll create on programs directory. Under programs directory, what I will do, I'll create class name .java, correct? This is where I have stored my program employee.java. Okay, now I can say class is the member of .java file, right? I can say this employee is the class, it is the member of .java file. .java file, it is a just like a Java file, right? I can say class is a part of .java file, or I can say class is a member of .java file, correct? Class can be member of .java file. I can say class can be a member of, or I can say part of, correct? Or part of .java file, correct? Here employee.java is one of the Java file, right? Inside employee.java file, what we have done, we have declared one class, correct? So not only class, you can declare many things. You can declare many things. Consider I am creating on enum. Okay, so far we didn't see enum. In our future classes, we will see about enum. Consider I am creating one of the enum. Consider this is a days. Days is one of the enum. Enum also can be member of .java file. Enum also can be member of .java file. In other words, enum also can be part of .java file. Okay, not only classes, but also enums also can be member or part of classes. Correct. Enums also can be a member of .java file. Correct. Just we seen how to declare enum, but don't worry. What is enum? Why we need enum? You no need to worry about it. Those topics we will cover in our future classes. Correct. Not only enum, even interface also we can it can be part of our .java file. Interface also can be part of our .java file. How to declare interface? Again, it is simple. Again, it is simple. You need to go with keyword called interface. Correct? Interface. This is one of the interface. Correct? Consider I am going with the name as service. Service is one of the interface. Okay. Interface also can be part of .java file. Again, interface is again one of the big topic we will cover in our future class. Okay. Not only interface, even you can declare abstract class also. Okay. Not only interface, even abstract class also can be member of .java file. Consider I am going with the abstract class. How to declare abstract class? I can name it as abstract class. Okay. Consider I am naming as a person. Okay. This is our abstract class. Abstract class also can be a member or can be a part of .java file. We will see what is abstract class in our later tutorials. Okay. So what we are trying to see here, inside a .java file, you can declare multiple components. Even you can declare annotations also. Okay. You can declare annotations also, which is as part of our class. Consider I am declaring on annotations. Okay. This is our annotations. Again, we will see in our later tutorial. What we are trying to do is .java file can hold class, not only class, it can hold abstract class, enum, interface, and annotations. Correct? Interface also can be member of .java file, or you can say abstract class also can be member of .class file. Okay, if you see, this is the employee.java class, employee.java file. Inside this .java file, what are the members we are having? We are having class member, abstract class member, enum, interface, and annotations. What we are trying to understand here is, inside a Java class, we can declare different types of members. Okay, this is the very basic understanding we are trying to have. So far, we have seen only one class inside .java file. Okay. Now, what I am doing is, I am going to create one class. Let's create one more class. Okay. Go with new keyword. What I do, I am going to create one class. Class, consider, I am giving the name as, you know, consider the name is Jagadish. Okay. What I am doing, I am storing with public static void main. Correct. I am having one static attribute, static int count equal to 100. Okay. Inside this, I am just having one println statement. I am just telling this is Jagadish class main method. Correct. This is Jagadish class main method. So what I will do, I can save this class with Jagadish.java. So we know this program. So whenever we are running, so static attribute value will be initialized with 100. Main method, there is no static block here. Main method, will be called JVM calls main method, and main method started executing. Correct. Let's compile it. Open the command prompt here. CMD. Okay. So what I do, I can compile Javac Jagadish.java. Compilation is success. How to run it? Java class name. You are getting output, right? This is Jagadish class main method, correct? So what I am trying to do, I am trying to declare one more class here. I am trying to declare one more class here. Okay, consider I am declaring one more class. Class Ravi. Okay, this is a new class. Now, in this .java file, there are two classes are there. In this .java file, there are two classes are there. What is the first class? One more point, I want to highlight all the static attributes. It is good way of declaring static variable should be complete capital letters. Okay. So far we have seen like uh, we seen like even instance variable and the local variable also we can declare in it can start in small letter. So but anyway I can cover that in later. Not static variable we can declare in complete uppercase. If it is a constant we can declare in complete uppercase, but that point we can see. For now you can understand static variable also you can start with lowercase and it should be lowercase only. In future while we are saying about constant value and constant variable, that time we can see that point. Okay, now what I do, I'm just declaring one more static variable, that is value. Okay, I'm going with one more method. Okay, so the second class is having two members, right? Ravi is having two members. One is one static variable, that variable name is value. Another one is main method, correct? Inside main method, what we are trying to do? We are trying to use, we are trying to use, just we are trying to print some statement. So finally, in this class, there are two, in this .java files, there are two classes are declared. Inside this .java file, there are two classes are declared. Both are having two static members. Jagadish is having two members, that is count variable and main method. Ravi is also having two members. Ravi class is having two members, that is one static variable value, another static method is main. So what I do is, let me delete this all the files. Observe very carefully what happens when we are compiling it. Okay, let me save this program. Now only one .java file is there, right? Only one .java file is there. What we are trying to do? We are trying to compile. Listen very carefully what happens when you are compiling. How many class files are created? So far we have two classes, correct? Let's observe here how many classes are created, how many dot class files are created. I'm just compiling Java C class name.java. Listen carefully. Here two dot class files are created, right? When we compile, two dot class files are created. Let me delete it again. I am deleting both the dot class files. Let's recreate, let's recompile again. Listen carefully. Let's recompile again. Java C class name dot Java, right? Again we are observing it. There are two dot class files are created. Correct. So because we declared a two classes, compiler what it does? Compiler first it compiles Jagdish.java. Correct. Jagdish class it compiles. There is no syntax error. It has created one dot class file. Correct. What about Ravi? Here also this is another separate class. It doesn't matter either you are declaring within one Java file or you are declaring as a separate Java file. Here we have created two classes inside one Java file. So while we compile, it will create two dot class files. Suppose inside a dot Java file you have created 5 classes. Okay, let's create some more class. I am just creating class A. Okay, again consider I am creating class B. Class C. Okay, we are just experimenting. Save it. You can save this. Okay, observe now what happens when I compile this .java file. So overall how many classes we are having? Jagdish, Ravi, class A, class B, class C. Totally 5 dot class files will be created. 5 dot class files will be created. Let's compile again. Java C file name .java. Observe it. See, there are 5 dot class files are created. A, B, C, 3 classes files, right? Because we have declared 3 classes, but we didn't do anything here. A, B, C, 3 classes does not have any method or, instance variables or static variables. Just we have declared a class. That's all. Just we have declared a class. So we are trying to understand that, inside one .java file, you can declare any number of classes. Okay. So here it is 5 classes we have declared. We have created 5 classes. That's why when it compiles, it creates dot class file for all the classes. So let's observe one more thing. In the previous thing, we have created, like this. So we have created employee class, person class, days class, and interface. Correct. Let's again, I'm deleting everything. Observe here. I am storing this class as employee.java, right? Let me store it. Let's save it. Employee.java. This is the class files, right? Okay. Or consider let's create employee1.java. Okay. Do we have that class? Yes, we have already. So no need to worry about it. We are having already that class. Now, if I compile this class, if I compile this .java file, correct, when it compiles, what will happen? Let's see it. We have deleted all the .class files. Let's compile it. Java C employee.java. See here, inside employee.java, what are the things we had? We had one abstract class, and we have one enum, and we have interface. For abstract class, enum and interface also, .class file will be created. See here, abstract class name is person. Person.class file is created. Correct. And enum is days. Days also .class file is created. Interface is service. For service also .class file is created. Correct. What we are trying to understand? Fourth point you can say, okay, for class, okay, for classes, abstract classes, interfaces, or enums, for everything, what will happen? Dot class files will be created. So the employee.java file, okay, it had different members. It had class member, abstract class, enum, and interface. All are part of employee.java file. So when we are compiling, not only for dot class file, not only for class, but also for all these members dot class files are created. Just we are trying to understand. Okay. So let me delete this thing. Okay. Again, let's go back to our class. This is our class. Okay, let me remove this class ABC also. Now again we are coming back to the same class. Inside this .java file there are two classes. One is Jagadish, another one is Ravi. We already seen that when we compile this Java file, what happens? It will create two classes because we have declared two classes inside this .java file, correct? Let's compile it. Java 3 class name.java. It has created Jagadish.class file, Ravi.class file because there are two classes, right? We have declared. Now, if I want to run, how I can run these classes? It's simple. We know how to run. Compilation doesn't matter, but we know how to run. Suppose if you want to run Jagadish class, what you will do? You will run as Java class name. That is the syntax, right? If you want to run Jagadish class, how will you run? Java class name, that is Jagadish. Let's run Jagadish class. Listen, I am running Jagadish class. How I can run? Compilation is success. Java class name. What output you are getting? You are getting Jagadish class main method, right? Whatever you have printed inside main method of Jagadish class, that we are getting as a output. This is how you can run the particular class. Suppose I want to run the second class. I want to execute the second class. How to run the second class? It is simple. So how to run? Same way, you can go with Java. What is the second class name? Second class name is Ravi. Correct. So run it. What is the output you are getting? This is Ravi class main method, right? See here, this time we are getting Ravi class main method. So it's simple. Whichever class you want to run, give the class name. Java class name. If you want to run the first class, give the first class name. If you want to run the second class, you can give the second class name. This is very simple. So what is our next point? Okay, I want to print. We already seen that. Suppose inside the Jagadish class, if you want to print, consider, I'm just, making some more statements. I'm just saying that Jagadish class main method starts, Ravi class main method starts. Consider I'm just printing like you would like to know where it starts, where it ends. Okay. So suppose if I want to use count variable here, it is very simple, right? What I will do? I want to print the count variable. We have already seen this. How to print the count variable? count, we will print like this, correct? Suppose if I want to print value here inside this one, so value also you can print. It is simple. So if I run Jagdish class again, what I will be getting? I will be getting Jagdish class main method starts, count value I will be getting 100, then Jagdish class main method ends. Let's recompile the program. Again you need to recompile each time. So Java C file name, class name, file name.java. Once recompilation is success, what you will do? I want to run the first class. How to run? Java class name. Correct. So what you are getting? The output you are getting Jagdish class main method starts, value we are printing 100, then main method ends. Correct. These statements we are getting. If you want to run the second class, again it is simple. What you will do? You will go with Java class name. So what here you are getting? Ravi class main method starts. Value also you are printing. What is the value? Value you have declared as 200. It is a static attribute, right? It's a static variable. Correct. It's a static attribute. And finally we are printing main method. Ravi class main method ends. This is very simple. What I am trying to do here? I have declared some variable inside both the classes. Same class variable I am trying to use in same class method. Same class variable I am trying to use inside same class method. Correct? Inside Jagdish class we have declared count variable. That count variable again what we are doing inside Jagdish class only. Inside main method we are trying to use it. That's what. Same class variables or methods we are trying to use inside Jagdish class itself. In second program, we have declared variable as value. It's a static attribute, static member. So that static variable value we are trying to use inside same class. Correct? So this is simple. We have already seen. Suppose inside main method of Jagdish class, I want to use value which is from another class. I want to use value which is from another class. How I can print the value? I want to print this value. Correct. Value is not from Jagdish class. Value is from another class. This is a static variable. Correct. How to print the static variable? We have already seen how to print a static variable. If it is declared inside a class, how you can print? Count is declared inside a class. Either you can print it directly, or second way is you can print using class name, right? We have already seen this point. How you can print? Either directly or you can print class name dot static variable name. Correct? If it is in same class, no problem. Suppose if it is in different class, here value is from another class. You are trying to access a static variable. Value is not from Jagdish class. Jagdish class contains only count. Count you can directly access it or you can access through class name because it is a static variable. No, it doesn't matter. Okay. But value you cannot access directly because it is from another class. So we can access only one option. You can access through class name. Class name dot variable name. Class name dot variable name. Correct. This is how you can access, one class members in another class. Here value is from another class. That class name is Ravi. That another class variable we are trying to use it in different class. So value we are trying to use inside the Jagdish class. We are trying to print it. correct? We are trying to print it. So what I do, let's save this class, let's recompile it, let's see what happens. Again, in each time you need to recompile. Java C file name.java, compilation is success. Let's run Ravi class. If I run Ravi class, what will happen? Inside Ravi class it is same only, we didn't do any modification. We will be getting Ravi class main method starts, value also from Ravi class only. So it is simple, it is same only, right? Java class name, it is same only, there is no change, correct? Suppose if I run Jagdish class, what will happen here? Let's run Jagdish class. Listen very carefully. Java class name, correct? What is happening? First output you are getting Jagdish class main method starts, correct? Second output is count value you are printing. Count value is from again same class only. Count value you are getting 100. What about value? Value does not belong to Jagdish class. Value does not belong to Jagdish class. Value belongs to Ravi class. Value belongs to another class. How we are trying to access? You are trying to access using that class name dot variable name. See here, we are getting value as 200. We are getting value as 200. Correct? And finally, what you are getting? You are getting Jagdish class main method ends. You are getting Jagdish class main method ends. Correct? Here we are using another class variable. Correct? What is the fifth point? Inside a class, even we can use another class, correct? Members. What is meant by members? Members means it's very simple. Members means either it can be variable or it can be methods, right? Variables and methods, correct? We have seen like now we have declared only one variable, correct? That variable what we have seen, we have tried to use in another class. Okay, I hope this makes very clear. Now what I'll do, I'll create one more method here. I'll create one more method here. Okay, inside Ravi class, I'm going to create one more method. We have already seen this kind of method. Consider this is a process method. Okay, this method is not taking any argument. This method is not taking any argument. What I'm trying to do, I'm trying to print some statements. That's all, nothing else. I'm just trying to print some statement. Okay, this is Ravi class process method. Correct? I'm just printing some statement. That's all. Now, if I want to call process method in Ravi method, it is simple. How I will call this process method? It's a static method, right? If it is a static method, we have already seen that point. Either it is a static variable or static method. What you can do? You can call using class name dot variable name, or you can call directly, right? You can call directly. So how I will call? So here I can call directly process method, because it is inside class. Process method also inside class, main method also inside a class. Both the caller and the callee both are in the same class. Correct? So I can call directly. Our second option is, if I want, even I can call like this also. Class name dot method name. This is also possible. Both are same, right? So let's run Ravi now. Recompile the class again. Java C file name.java. Once compilation is success, what you do? Java class name, right? So what you are doing? You are getting output. Main method starts. Value you are printing 200. You are calling process method. Correct. You are getting output like whatever you have printed in the println statement. Ravi class process method. Finally, main method ends. Right. This is straightforward. Suppose if I want to call Ravi class process method inside Jagdish class. If I want to call Ravi class process method inside Jagdish class, how I can call it? Again, it is simple. You cannot call directly. Process method you cannot call directly here. Correct? I cannot call like this. If I call, I will get compile time error. Let's recompile this program. Let's recompile this program. Observe the compilation. See, you are getting compile time error. Why you are getting compile time error? It says inside Jagdish class, right? Jagdish.java, line number 9. This is the line number 9. Process method, right? It says cannot able to find process method. Correct? Cannot able to find process method. Process method is not there because it's you are trying to access it directly. So it is trying to search inside Jagdish class. Is there any static method? Correct. There is no static method inside Jagdish class. So if you, but here if you run Ravi class, while it compiles, it will check inside Ravi class is there a static method. If you run Ravi class, it will compile successfully and it will run successfully because inside Ravi class itself, you are declared one static method you are trying to access. But here inside Jagdish class, it is not the case. You are trying to access another class member. Only one option is you need to go with how to access it. You need to go with class name, right? We have already seen only one option. When you are running like this, what happens? Compiler will come into picture. Okay, let's recompile again. Now compilation is success, correct? There is no compile time error. Why compilation is success now? When it compiles, okay, line by line, when it comes to process, you have access with class name dot method name, right? Class name dot method name. Then it will go to Ravi class, correct? It will go inside a Ravi class. Ravi class also, while it compiles, it checks is there a process method. Yes, inside a Ravi class we have declared one process method. So compilation will be success. Correct? Compilation will be success. So if I run this Jagdish class, what will be the output? Let's run Jagdish class. Compilation is success. Let's run Java class name. Observe the output. So you can compare. We are printing Jagdish class main method starts. You are trying to access count. Count is from same class, correct? Count you are getting 200. Then value you are trying to access, which is from another class using class name dot variable name. Value you are getting 200, right? And you are calling process method. Process method is from another class. We are calling, you are using that class name dot process method. Then flow is going inside process method. You are getting output like Ravi class process method, right? Now, then finally this method is called, again flow is coming back to the main method. You are getting output as Jagdish class main method ends, correct? So if it is in the same class,
you can access it directly. That's the point we are trying to understand here. Okay, if static members, if static members or class members all are same, correct? If static members are okay, if static members are available in the same class, okay, available in the same class, what you can do, you can access. How you can access? It's simple, directly. First point is directly, right? You can access directly, correct? Here we have declared count variable. Count variable you can access directly. Or consider you are having one more method inside Jagdish class. Again you can call it directly. This is the first option. What is the second option? Second option is you can use it that class name dot member name, correct? What it means here, it is class name is Jagdish dot member name is count variable, right? Member name is count variable. Or if it is a method name, you can access method name. Here if you see, either you can access value directly or Ravi dot value, or you can access process or Ravi dot process. Directly you can access or class name dot member name, correct? Suppose if static members are available in different class, if static members are available in the different class, what is the only one option? What is the only one option? You cannot access directly, correct? You cannot access directly. Only one option is you can go with class name dot member name. If it is a variable, class name dot variable name, or if it is a method, you can access class name dot method name, correct? This point is clear, right?